Hey, this is Randy from Funeral Funds of America. In this video, I'm going to share with you the actual pricing for $25,000 worth of burial, cremation, final expense, life insurance, or funeral funds for a 59-year-old female. Now, first thing I suggest is go directly to our website at funeralfunds.com. And on just about every page, we have these three quoters. And you can click on them and just select the state that you live in. We are licensed in all 50 states, by the way. Select the coverage amount. Fill in the rest of the info, your birthday, then the rest of the info, click Get Quotes Now. It will take you to a page that's going to show you the best insurance companies that are going to offer the lowest rates based off your age, gender, and the state that you live in. Take advantage of that. It's really terrific. You can also call us at 888-862-9456, and one of our licensed agents can look up pricing for you or help you in any other way. Now, one of the first things a 59-year-old female should really consider is $25,000 going to be appropriate for her final expense needs? Now, typically final expense is going to be a cremation or a burial. Let's talk about that cremation. The average cost of a cremation right now in the United States is between $1,000 to $2,000. That's where you come home in a cardboard box or an urn. If you're going to have some sort of a ceremony like a celebration of life or remembrance ceremony in addition to the cremation, that's probably going to be around $3,500 to $4,500, depending where you live, but that's a good average. So as far as, what kind of coverage you would need, let's take a look at that. For that cremation where you're going to come home in a cardboard box or an urn, we would typically help people with anywhere from $5,000 to $7,000 on average. Now, you might be saying, well, Randy, you said that the cremation might be around $2,000, but you're recommending $5,000 worth of coverage. What's going on there? Well, the thing is our 59-year-old female probably wants to make it to 69 and 79 and maybe even longer. So what we want to do is we want to get a little bit more insurance than is what necessary today to inflation-proof the plan. So by getting more coverage right now, we actually lock in the lowest rate so that you don't have to spend any more in the future in this by adding more coverage. And it works really terrific that way. You can just inflation-proof your plan in the long term. And then, God forbid, if you did die sooner than anybody thought, there's extra money to take care of maybe some other bills that may have been taken care of if you'd lived long enough. Like maybe there's medical expenses or credit card bills or something like that. Now, for the cremation where you're going to have that ceremony, we would typically help people with $7,000 to $10,000 on average. And again, we're inflation-proofing the plan long term, but we're also providing extra funds in the short term just to help the family out. God forbid you died sooner than anybody thought you would. Now, as far as a burial, the average cost of a burial right now in the United States is around $10,000. If you walk into pretty much any funeral home in the United States with a $10,000 check, they'll help you get it done. It's not going to be anything fancy, I can guarantee you that, but it should get it done. And it's hard to imagine they would say, nope, we can't do that. Send you walking out the door and walk 2 blocks down the road to one of their competitors and give them the money. Just understand, $10,000 right now, that's kind of just the bare minimum, and it's not going to be inflation proofed. So typically we're helping 59-year-old females with anywhere between $10,000, $15,000, and $20,000. Some people want $25,000 because they want something very elaborate, but probably most of the people we have are generally a little bit more simple. So that kind of 10, 15, 20 would typically work for them. Just be aware that $10,000 is not inflation proofing your plan. But if you're on a fixed or limited income and that's all you can afford, get that right now because we can always help you add more coverage later. Now, occasionally some people will say, well, I want to take care of my final expenses, but leave a lot of money to my kids as well. And they might say, I want $30,000, $40,000, $50,000. And once we give them price for like $50,000, they go, oh, that's kind of out of our budget. I guess we're not going to do anything then. And that's really terrible. We kind of have to have a little session with them and let them know that they approached us first because they didn't want the kids to pay the final expenses. And the fact that the insurance premiums may in fact be too high for them, that's their fault because they waited until age 59 to get this. And, they're probably on a fixed or limited income. So what we would typically recommend is not put the kids in the pinch, right, to pay for your final expenses. Get the final expense policy taken care of first, And then at some point in the future, if you want to add more coverage for the kids, we can get a separate policy that's going to pay out separately for the kids. And it works really terrific just doing that in two segments like that. And it just really fits people's budgets very uniquely well. Now, one thing we always recommend getting is first day coverage or benefits. We never recommend those 2-year waiting period plans. And I'll talk about those in a minute, but first day coverage, what that means is that hypothetically, if your policy were issued and approved today and you died tomorrow, the insurance company would have to send out that check for $10,000, $15,000, $20,000, $25,000. That's going to be the best coverage at the lowest pricing as well. Now, some people would say, well, Randy, you're right. I do like that first day coverage, but I know they ask health questions and I'm not in the best of health. And I'm worried I won't qualify. And we always say, hey, that's our problem, not your problem, at least from an insurance standpoint. What we mean by that is we work with a whole bunch of different insurance companies, and they all ask different health questions. They all have different underwriting requirements. And right now, we're getting around 90 to 95% of the people we help approve for first day coverage or benefits. Really, the only reason you wouldn't qualify is if you'd waited too long and you had some significant health issues going on. Like maybe you had a terminal illness and you're going to die in the next 12 months, or you had dementia, or you're on dialysis or in the hospital or in a nursing home. If that were the case, we would typically refer you to a different company. One thing that also happens seemingly on a weekly basis is somebody will call us and say, hey, we had a family member pass away this last week. They didn't have insurance. We don't have any money. Now their body's at the funeral home, and the funeral home director is not going to do anything until he gets a check in his hand. So we need to get this insurance really quick so that we can get that check from the insurance company to pay off the funeral home guy. And we have to let them know that there's no insurance company in the United States that's going to issue a policy on a dead person. No, you got to be alive to qualify for this insurance. And it's really sad that they had a family member pass away, of course, but it's doubly sad that that person did not care enough to have this insurance in place to protect their family and loved ones. They knew they were going to die someday. They probably thought about getting this insurance someday, and they waited, and then one day they just went and died. And now their family has to figure out a way to pay for this. And most families are typically going to have to put that on a credit card, and they're going to have to pay it off at 26% interest. And what a terrible legacy to leave behind. You could have done everything else right in life, and you'd messed up this one last thing, and your family's going to be paying on this for years and years and years. So yeah, just don't leave that legacy behind. This insurance is affordable. If you need to, just start with a smaller amount. We can always help you add more coverage later. Now, one thing we don't recommend is those plans out there with 2-year waiting periods. Yeah, you probably recognize the name Colonial Penn. They're on the TV all the time. Seems like their TV commercials for that $9.95 plan. Seems like that's playing like every 7 minutes on the television. But you may not know this, but the Colonial Penn $9.95 plan is a 2-year waiting period plan. Ouch. You may not have known that. Yeah, it's a 2-year waiting period. And we don't recommend that when you can get first day coverage through other companies. Now, Colonial Penn's not the only one that offers, 2-year waiting periods. There's other companies like Mutual of Omaha, their United of Omaha line, AIG, Gerber, just to name a few. But there's just a bunch of companies out there that's the only thing they offer is 2-year waiting period plans. And some of these companies have done an amazing job of convincing the American public that if you're over the age 50, the only thing you're going to qualify for is a plan with a 2-year waiting period, to which we always say, don't believe such nonsense, because we help people get approved for first day coverage all day long. Yes, we do. Yes, we do. Now, our 59-year-old female probably just got done watching a Colonial Penn TV commercial, $9.95. Probably thinking, oh my gosh, at age 59, that commercial sounded so good. I'm going to get tons of protection. I'm probably going to get $20,000, $30,000, $40,000, perhaps even $50,000 for only $9.95. And then she checks with the Colonial Penn agent or goes on their website like we've done for you right here and sees that a female age 59, 1 unit of coverage, $9.95 is only going to pay out $1,565. Now, that's probably enough in much of the country to pay for a cremation right now, except for one thing. Colonial Penn has a 2-year waiting period, and it's not going to pay out for 2 years if you die of a health or medical related reason. Why would you ever get a policy like that that's not going to do what you need it to do? And then it's going to be, trust me, it's going to be more expensive than other coverage. I'll show you that in a minute, but why would you ever do that? Now, there's some people out there that say that, companies that offer really low teaser rates, that they actually really don't even want to sell you that really low teaser rate because it's such minimal coverage. What they actually want to do is attract you in with that low coverage or that low premium. And then they'll gladly show you how minimal the coverage is and say, you know what, you probably should get more. And then they'll try to upsell you to more expensive coverage that's more profitable for them. And, we would never say that Colonial Penn does anything like that, but there's some people out there who feel differently. And I guess you can make that determination on your own based on the fact that as a 59-year-old female, you're only going to get $1,565 for $9.95. Now, let's look at $25,000. And I think we're going to have problems getting $25,000 because Colonial Penn only goes up to 15 units. Yeah, so I don't think we're going to, let's check it out. Let's see what we can get for 15 units. Yeah, look at that. You can only get $23,475. And that's going to cost $150 a month. You might be going, well, I don't know. Is that a good deal? Not deal? Let's take a look. Let's see what first aid coverage would look like for $25,000. Here we go. So we got $25,000 female, age 59. Let's get a quote on that. Let's go back and look though. Again, we're one more time around $23,000 for $150, roughly. Oh, I'm going to show you this because this will blow your mind. $25,000 from the lowest price company, and we can help you with this company. We work with them. But look at that. Would you rather pay $73 for $25,000 worth of coverage, or would you rather pay $149 for $23,475? Literally. Yeah, literally double. I mean, and we see that typically Colonial Penn is going to be 200% higher on average, more 200% more expensive than other companies that offer first day coverage. Why would you ever do that? Why would you ever overspend around $75 a month for less coverage and a 2-year waiting period? Let's do the math on this. If Colonial Penn is $75 more a month, let's do that times 12 months. That would be an extra $900 a year that you're overpaying. And if our 59-year-old female makes it to age 69, you would be overpaying roughly $9,000 in the next 10 years on a $25,000 policy. Why would you ever do that? Why would you ever overpay an insurance company around $9,000 when you don't have to? Just because they have a slick TV commercial, perhaps? You need to be an educated consumer. And it's okay if you're not. We can educate you. We can help you get the lowest price. But yeah, this is $73. Level means first day coverage. That's what you want. You don't want a 2-year waiting period. Let's look at some other companies here. So that's 73. I'll look at some of, this is 89, like Lumico. We see them once in a while. 89. It's like $16 more a month. You might go, oh, that's not too much, $16, but it adds up. $16 a month times 12 months is $192 a year, roughly. So if our 59-year-old female lives age 69, you will have overpaid right around $1,900, $200. Why would you ever do that? Would you ever just open your wallet and throw $1,900 on the ground and walk away from it? That's kind of what you're doing when you overpay on something like this. Let's look at another company here. Let's see. Oh, Lincoln Heritage. They're a fine company, I guess, but whoo, that pricing will take your breath away, won't it? Yeah. They're first day coverage, but ooh, that pricing takes your breath away. It's so expensive, $107. Why are they so much? Well, they've got a deal where when you pass away, they will supposedly call 2, 3 different funeral homes to like get the lowest rates for you, maybe do a couple other things, but they don't give that away. No, they charge for that. It's going to cost you money. Yeah. Let's go compare this. 107 versus 73. Lincoln Heritage, you're going to pay $34 more a month. So let's do the math on that. $34 a month times 12 months is right around $408 a month or a year. You'd be overpaying $408 a year. If our 59-year-old female lives to age 69, you'll end up overpaying right around $4,080 more, roundabout. So you got to ask yourself, why on earth would you ever overpay an insurance company over $4,000 more to call 2 or 3 funeral homes, maybe do a couple other things that may only take an hour or so to do? You know, we recommend you keep that money in your bank account rather than letting the insurance company keep it in their bank account. You can do an awful lot with $4,000 if you just keep it rather than giving it away to an insurance company. So what we recommend you do is let us help you get approved for the lowest price insurance company. And then what we do is we offer a free funeral and estate planning guide. And you can download that off our website. And then once you download it, you just print it out. And once it's printed out, you fill it out. You write down who gets what goes where, and what you want done after you're gone. And then keep that with your insurance policy. And then when you pass away, your family members will go to that space where you keep those, and they will know that they are not only protected financially with the insurance policy, but emotionally with the funeral and estate planning guide. Because all they'll need to do is open up that funeral and estate planning guide and start reading, and then just execute your wishes. And you will have let them know everything that needs to be done after you're gone, and you provided the funds to take care of it. And what a wonderful gift of love. They will know that you not only loved and protected them in life, but you loved and protected them that one last time in death when you actually wouldn't be there to help them, but you've left all these funds and directions to help them in your absence. What a legacy to leave behind. What a wonderful gift of love. You know, if you want to leave that legacy behind, reach out to us at funeralfunds.com. We've actually got a special quote for our YouTube visitors, funeralfunds.com/YouTube. And you can get a quote there that's going to get you the best companies and the lowest rates. It's terrific. Do take advantage of that. You can also call us at 888-862-9456. One of our agents can help you out and answer any questions you have. But if you've got an existing policy and you want us to price shop to see if we can get you lower pricing, or you just want to add coverage to your policy, we can help you out with that. If you are looking for a brand new policy or just have questions or concerns or want to know what you might qualify for and rates, we can help you out with that. We look forward to the day when we can help you get the most amount of insurance for the least amount of money. We will be blessed to help you with this at some point in the future. Until that day comes, you stay safe, you take care, you have a nice day. Bye-bye.